Huntsville, Alabama, and I got the opportunity to go and do a comedy show with my good buddy Gary Cargal. And while we were there, we thought, why don't we have some fun and make an episode of Straight Outta Boogertown? Well, the first thing we did, me and Beulah Dean went to the Brass Tap for dinner. This was a really neat little place with some great food and not a lot of people there when we got there. We got some 4-cheese flatbread and these loaded tots with fresh jalapenos and a beer. Or two. And then we went off to Shenanigans Comedy Theater for our show. Early the next morning, we were at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center with our buddy Gary Cargal. This is a big deal to me and Beulah Dean because when we were kids, we used to go there on our school field trips. Hey, I'm Buford.
I'm Gary Cargal.
Yeah, we're here at the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center. We're going to go in here and learn us some stuff.
Nobody gets higher than NASA.
That's true. We better leave. They're going to lose that beautification award. So, Gary, you know, this is where they send all the smart kids for space camp. Did you get to go to space camp?
I got spaced out at camp. Dadgummit.
What's the matter, Gary?
Technology enough to put somebody on the moon. I can't get cell phone signal. Oh, and I can't check my MySpace. I've had damn pimples bigger than that.
That's Venus. That's supposed to show you how big Venus is, and here's Earth. You think they're trying to tell us something?
Yeah, we're screwed.
Gary, I'm telling you, they ain't gonna have them spacesuits in our size. They don't send big boys to space.
$7X.
Whew, hold that up. Well, that's big enough for the whole moon. Golly. I stand corrected.
I told you they had one big enough for both of us.
I didn't know you'd get both of us in the same suit. So we purchased our tickets and headed off into the great unknown. Well, not really the great unknown. It's the visitor center here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. It's a really cool place, though. Me and Gary felt like we was really going into outer space.
Gee, I bet nobody's ever done that when they go in. Really, guys? Are y'all gonna do this the whole time we're inside?
Look, it's one of them guys in the holler where those rooming ball hats. Just like scanty burns when you walk through there.
Uh-huh. Now that's science for you right there.
They figured out how to turn that burn barrel upside down.
Yes, sir. There it is, folks. The high-tech outhouse. That just confuses me. Where's the Sears catalog? Don't see no corn cobs or nothing.
I bet you it's got one of them bidets on there.
You know what? It just might.
There's something on there, I bet you. See that valve down there? Look at this valve down here.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you twist that valve, and it blows water on you.
Yeah, I bet that's what it does.
Yeah. And I don't know how you dry it, but...
So probably that other valve. Okay, I'm just going to let y'all read this for a minute. The solid waste is sent back to Earth and burns up during re-entry.
And that's where the problem coming with all the carbon.
What is that, Gary?
I think it's a ceiling fan.
I'll be honest with you, when you've seen one rocket, you've kind of seen them all, but it's still really neat. I like that pretty orange one there on the right. It's one small step for a man, one giant leap for two ignorant hillbillies.
There's a difference between ignorant and stupid.
Well, that's true. We're ignorant and stupid.
I've seen them things all over the Midwest out there. Kansas, they keep corn in them.
Yep, I believe that's what that is.
Hydroponics. Thank you, NASA.
Now, these boys really thought this looked like they were floating in space. They were so proud.
Well, it does. And this is where we found out that they recycle all your liquids when you're in space. Yeah, you have to drink your own pee. I don't think I want to go to space. We need to find something more on our intellectual level.
And boy, did they find it.
I made a shelf for those three with a log in the fireplace.
There you go, man. You smart.
This place did it.
Well,
When I walked under that thing and they
probe your brain.
infused all that knowledge into my brain from that thing. Glad I didn't wear a tinfoil hat.
Look what you... Hey, Gary, you know there's other stuff here to do. We've really got to go. I mean, you've been watching that thing for like 20 minutes. Come on.
Almost there.
It ain't gonna do nothing different.
I'm watching this ball gonna jump out right here and right into that. It's like, look, it's like a catcher's mitt, that thing. This is the picture, that's the catcher's mitt right there. Wow. Here it comes. Bam!
We finally got Gary back out into the rest of the Rocket Center so we could look at all the rest of the stuff in here before going outside. And we had to take a quick walk on the moon. Beulah Dean said it was getting old, but look at Gary. Gary had to count all the stars. I think it's got the right number. This place will fill you with wonder. We sat here and looked at this rocket for the longest time.
I let him squirm a little, and then I finally told him it was a column holding up the roof. Then they spent 2 minutes trying to figure out where to put the quarters so they could ride this.
Well, I remember this place having all kinds of cool rides.
May the force be with us.
I remember this spinny ride from when I was a kid.
Much better go to the chiropractor.
That's a lot more fun when I was 12.
Buford, you alright, buddy?
Houston, we have a problem.
Damn, he don't even know my name anymore.
I know we were in Huntsville, Alabama, but if you squint your eyes just right, you felt like you was on the surface of the moon. Except for the trees. And there's the rocket that took them there, the Saturn V. They got a whole museum here dedicated just to the Saturn V. Gary and me got to play Astronaut. Astronaut, that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. They got a big National Geographic theater in there, and an ornithopter. That's an airplane that's wings flap. I don't know if they really fly or not. We didn't get to see anything in the theater because I don't guess they was doing any shows that day. Well, what are they looking at?
Watching the rocket launch. I'm looking for it any minute.
I don't see nothing.
It's a ceiling. Come on. There it is. I gotta put it in place again. The pad thing. I'm too big to be a damn astronaut, I tell you. And I ain't drinking my own pee. And I don't think this is a job for me.
Now, do we need to call the Jaws of Life?
Probably. I'm gonna try to get out of here and reach back in and get my hat.
Well, how was your trip to space?
You look like you could use some Gatorade. NASA gave me hope.
Hope for mankind?
No, hope's the girl I took to a fraternity for me.
Her daddy work here?
Yep.
So when NASA needed a mobile quarantine unit, of course, they got him an Airstream trailer. Looks spacey.
That's what happened to my mama's lawn chairs right there.
What'd they do to it?
I think they took a body off a VW thing, and I think those lawn chairs was in my mama's backyard.
She blamed you for losing them, didn't she?
Yeah, but I'm guilty.
My grandpa was a boy. He ran a mile to see a track in the mud where a car had driven by. And then, as an old man, he held me in his arms to watch one of these rockets go to space.
This is so much more colorful than the other one. I bet they even got flight attendants on this one.
Discovery Houston, show you on center line, slightly high. Suggest you ease the stick forward.
I'm landing her.
5,000.
What do you reckon, Gary? Would you go to Mars if you had the chance to move there?
I don't even like going to Walmart.
And stop and pay our respects to Miss Baker, the squirrel monkey that went to space. And her husband, Big George. So when I was a kid, we used to come here for school field trips. And the big deal was always to get you freeze-dried ice cream. Well, you could feel just like an astronaut. Well, we've enjoyed our time here at the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center. What have we learned today, Gary?
Where hydroponics came from.
Yeah, NASA did that. And we learned you can drink your own pee. That's why I'm not going to space. Maybe they ought to institute something like that in the New York City subways. Watch that episode. But we learned a lot of other stuff. Gary learned how to stack blocks. And we watched that little whirly gig thing go round and round. We had a big time. And we got to see a lot of neat rockets. And we looked at a few things that weren't actually exhibits, too. Oh, well. But we had a blast.
No.
All right. Well, Gary, come on. That was funny. All right. Anyway, hey, thanks for coming along with us on the journey. Down in the comments, tell us where we need to go. Nicely.